And he said unto his disciples, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body, what ye shall put on. Luke chapter 12, verse 22. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. Micah chapter 7, verse 8. He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me, and he that despiseth me despiseth him that sent me. Luke chapter 10, verse 16. But now being made free from sin, and become servants to God, ye have your fruit unto holiness, and the end everlasting life. Romans chapter 6, verse 22. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then will I be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. Exodus chapter 23, verse 22. For by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 14. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Romans chapter 12, verses 1 to 2. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Philippians chapter 3, verse 14. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Psalm 4, verse 8. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. John chapter 5, verse 24. And the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1. For he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. Faithful is he that calleth you, who also will do it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 24. Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. Colossians chapter 3, verse 24. In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 19. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness. Psalm 65, verse 11. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. James chapter 1, verses 2 to 3. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. John chapter 10, verse 10. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 5 to 6. My little children, these things write I unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous. 1 John chapter 2, verses 1 to 29. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. Mortify, therefore, your members, which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 5.